Welcome to the Monday Morning Jumpstart. Hi, my name is Rory Peters, and I'm the founder and CEO of Rory Peters International and the Grow Your Business Like You Mean It live event. I'm a speaker, a sales and leadership trainer, and the author of Sell Like You Mean It. This week I want to talk about curiosity. Now I know we've all heard the term curiosity killed the cat. That's in the next video. But what happened before curiosity killed the cat? See, it's like anything else, right? There's like a chart. As you get more and more of something, it becomes better and better. But there is a point where more is not better. Curiosity is one of those things. There comes a point where more curiosity is a good thing, and more curiosity is a good thing. And as long as you don't allow your curiosity to stop you from getting things done, it is a good thing. As William Arthur Ward said, curiosity is the wick to the candle of learning. Think about that one for a bit. Actually, I did. See, I am by nature a curious person. Because of that, I'm constantly seeking out things. I don't usually accept things just because I'm told this is the way it is. I need some kind of proof. I need to find out for myself that this is really the way things work. Now, I especially got this when I was teaching. Because when you teach something, you first learn it in theory. But before I actually am going to impart this information on my students, I wanted to make sure that it was really accurate. This is exactly the way it happened. So especially when I taught computer networking, I was able to create a lab and test it. And sometimes there were labs that were built into the course, and sometimes there weren't, and I'd create my own lab so I can test this to see that it works, really works the way they say it does. And I'll tell you something, a number of times it didn't. As we all know, what happens in theory is not always the same thing in the real world. And I found out that some things didn't work the way the book said it did. And I would go to my fellow instructors, especially when I first started. I was annoying. And I'd go to them and say, the book says this is supposed to work just like this, and it's not working that way. No, Roar, that's the way it works. That is the way it works. I said, guys, I've tested it 3 times now. It hasn't worked that way. Fine, show us. And I'd show them, and it would not work. And they'd go, huh. And we'd spend the next hour figuring out how does it really work in the real world. This, to me, was an excellent quality. It's what allowed me to grow. Let me give you a better example. Curiosity is the wick in the candle of learning. When you think about that, okay, a wick, you light the wick, and then the candle burns and we get light. Cool. But also I started thinking to myself while I'm preparing this video, I'm going, how does a candle really work? I mean, no, in practice, you basically light the candle and you're done. It does its job. But why? How does it actually work? So before I started recording this video, I went and looked it up. I went and looked how candles really work. Because the curiosity nature, I had to find out. Because what if, while I'm doing this training, somebody watches the video and they write me back and say, well, how does a candle really work? Now I know. I mean, I'm not an expert on it, but I have a pretty good idea. So just in a nutshell, by the way, in case you were interested, when you light the wick heats up. And that heat travels downward to the wax. It melts the wax. As the melts and becomes liquid, it also then heats up and becomes a gas. That gas travels up the wick like going up a chimney and continues to feed the flame. There are 3 types of heat that takes place when you light a candle. There's heat that goes down to the base or the top of the candle to heat the wax. Then there's the heat that is pushed upward, causing the vapors to come up to the flame and feed the flame, and then there's the radiated heat that comes out of the candle. Now you may be wondering, why is sometimes there's smoke when you light a candle and other times there's not? The reason is any of the vapor that burns at the blue part of the flame burns really cleanly, and there is no smoke. But any of the vapor that burns in the yellowish part of the flame, the yellowish part of the flame is not hot enough to burn perfectly. Therefore, you get smoke. So again, up until just before recording this video, I had no idea how a candle worked. Now I do. This is just one example of how curiosity can feed your knowledge base. And we've talked about before, and we will talk about again, how skill, knowledge, and mindset are crucial to your success. And they're the keys to learning and growing. And knowledge being one of the 3 main ones. So your curiosity level is going to cause you to learn. Because when you see something and you think to yourself, the moment you think to yourself, if you're not curious by nature, you need to follow through. Some people are curious by nature. They've honed that through their childhood. I didn't. I kind of formed my curiosity more as I became an adult. It seems that the more I learned, the more curious I became. But some people are curious by nature, and so that's a natural built-in thing. But curiosity is a very powerful tool. And therefore, any time that you kind of question something in your mind, don't just let it go. If the opportunity presents itself, follow it through. Actually investigate it. You don't want to spend 6 or 12 hours looking into it, but take a look into it. Feed your curiosity. And that will actually hone that curiosity. Because remember, right now, that curiosity, my curiosity, fed my desire to go look up how a candle works. Now, this knowledge isn't exactly going to make me rich, but it's that process that I go through all the time that allows me to learn more and more because I'm constantly curious about things. I don't like taking things on just the book's word or somebody's word. I want to look into it and see how it really works, why that is the way it is. And curiosity become a powerful tool increasing your knowledge base. And the more knowledgeable you are, the more impressive you are to the people that you interact with and do business with. Remember, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And one of the keys to getting somebody to trust you is by impressing them with what you know. And I don't mean in a cocky way. I mean in the ability to answer questions, to have responses to questions they may have or queries they have, or be able to present information while they're actually in their minds thinking of the question themselves. This causes people to really have faith in your abilities. And as people begin to trust you, they also begin to like you more. And because of that, they believe they know you. So as people know, like, and trust you, they tend to want to do business with you more often. See, everybody thinks things are isolated. All right, so I don't look this up, or so I'm not curious. Is it a big deal? No. But it's one of those many things that contributes to your success. And why would you want to eliminate a tool that can help you grow, that can help your business grow, that can increase your level of success? So again, if you're not curious by nature, when a thought enters your head as to why or how, don't just let it go. Follow up a little bit. Gain a little bit of information. And if you are already, like me, curious by nature, then continue to feed that. Now, I'm going to talk about this in the next video, but you don't want to let that curiosity override taking action. In other words, I know people that allow that curiosity to be a tool that stops them from taking action. They justify in their minds that instead of acting on something, they're going to learn more and more and more and more and more about it until they just end up wasting a lot of time and don't get anything done. So like anything else, right, the more curious you are, the better, but it gets to a point where if you don't use it properly, it becomes a negative thing. Check it out. Go on your curious side. Follow your instincts. If something makes you go, look into it. I hope you have a fantastic week, and we'll see you in the next Monday Morning Jumpstart.